that can grab information for them. Oh, Giorgimo's trying to find a timing. He's just heard them all run away.
Yep, close to the corner. No, that's going to be watched for by Devi. Shuts it down. No funny business. No lurk timings to be gathered and gained. And it's left to PRX to readjust and reassess actually the situation they're in here. They're like, okay, we've got a player advantage. Maybe they hear the drop. Even one falling to the ground. Fortunate timing. Couldn't really stand his ground and take the fight yet. He does deliver. Snake might drop down on top of it. There's going to be that collapse and combined pressure. 20 seconds now onto rope, onto the ramp, I should say. Flash, try and at least gain them a bit of ground, but have dropped down. Spike in the hands of CGRS. It's a mad dash to try and get over to the B site.
10 seconds left.
8 seconds left. Plant, plenty of time to at least tap it and explore a little bit, but Com shuts that one all the way down. 3 in a round for him.
EG pick up a pistol. They've been split very even in this match so far. But the big thing to me is how much value EG were able to generate from taking these fights over towards Heaven. I mean, Com gets one in that spot, and then Boostio picks up another. PRX are trying to find unusual timings to pressure the A Heaven players as they would be looking main.
Yep.
But that didn't work out that time. EG able to pick it up, even without Ethan being online, giving them that constant info. Jing has a shorty and a blast pack. Where are you off to?
Yeah, what could he do with it?
What kind of mischief can you get yourself into?
Usually, you're able to do a bit of damage. That's a team flash. So, okay.
And he dies.
Yeah, walking right into it. Forsaken having to go over it with a Marshall purchase.
Well, it's a good job you're not expected to do anything in that round. PRX falling flat on the face. But this is actually going to offer EG a great opportunity as long as they can clean up the rest of the rifles fairly cleanly. And suddenly, this doesn't look so clean anymore, does it?
Yeah, shot to the leg. Mindfreak survives. Okay, well, enough damage done that, yeah, should be easily done. And there it is. So, more kills collected. Com, clean enough with 3 players surviving.
Yeah, that's not too bad at the end. I mean, it could have been immaculate, but not so bad. And 3 Spectres prioritized here. So, EG have so many different ways that they can play around. I mean, both teams do. They're playing mirror comps, right? But especially on defense side, EG are going to put a premium on fighting over mid in a lot of these situations. But that does rely on Giorgimo. And instead, it looks like EG, 2 out of 3 rounds, they've been trying to fight a ramp to start. Maybe this is part of the preparation that Potter's got them looking at. Because they're bang on the money here. This is exactly where PRX are also stacked up.
Flash will notify them. So there's one player there, grouped up. Set the sights now with a Trailblazer. Sent towards the choke, not actually broken. Double satchels, flashes. This is all over the place. Forsaken, he's going for more.
What? Incredible play, and Devi on the lurk. Coming up through mid, picks off Demon 1, but only just managed to avoid getting assassinated by a flying Judge Jet player.
Jing might have overstepped himself though, he's fallen. The Heaven brought it into that 2 versus 2. CGRS left to hold on to this one angle. Com doesn't clear it. Not appropriately at least. Buying time, Boostio left alone here. Has to make footsteps though and he feels it. Time ticking away. CGRS holds the ground down, stalwart defender of that spike.
In the clutch again. In the clutch again, he delivers. He's so good for it. And every time he wins one of those, it's got to be a massive confidence booster. Realizing that you can win. But here's that play from Forsaken. Updraft dash into Heaven, catching the EG players who played that position a lot on pistol. Very reminiscent of something that something would do.
Yeah.
Right there.
Full aggression. No relenting for it. Similar scenes to the beginning of the round that we've just seen, only this time to pull. Double satchel play. Jing's already in their face. Trailblazer on the back. Stunned up. Where's the punish? Satchel making a mark. No way. Giorgimo was hoping to punish that. He's brought down anyway. Here we go. Lurk timings. Be careful. Got to be certain of this one. Could not adjust it with a spray down. So Com grabbing the one, but eventually brought down. players enough and abound. This is brought to a 2 versus 2.
Big timing from Boostio there. Andy's watching for Jing.
Oh, Jing still wins it. Duels, man, he's so keen and eager to take them.
And even when you know he's coming, it doesn't mean you can stop him.
Yeah. Of course, that placement was good in that instance still. Looks like we seen quite a lot of action, but still 50 seconds remaining in the round. Only a time to slow it down. Nade allows Mind Freak to cross into the site, into the corner, gets that plant out.
But Jing chooses not to. Jing's hiding in hell.
And he's just spotted Com. No way! What a pre-fire. Com's brought it to a 1 versus 1. And takes the fight to him. Unbelievable. Finalized it with the shot. That's 3 in a round, and he's feeling it, man. Fired up.
When you watch Com in these big games, he ends up being the neutralizer. For a player who was disrespected the whole time he's been with EG, the whole of his professional career in Valorant, he is often put on kind of like marking the other elite players. His job is to shut them down and neutralize their impact. Oh my God, what a play there. It's Corbin time. And he's just Corbin all over them. It really is wild, though. That's knocked PRX straight down. And EG, their game plan there was trying to play for Demon 1's Blade Storm. They get it online with a death. And this defensive setup looks a lot better now. PRX moving away from their A-ramp control that they've been doing basically every round this half.
Flash in the back in the smoke. But yeah, finally moving away. PRX, they don't really have the guns. It's carried them through. Only the 1 rifle. In the hands of Forsaken. Bulldog for Jing. Emphasis placed on them to make something of this. This round, it really does feel like a bit of a chokehold for EG. Trailblazer at the top, spotted it out, Demon. Dash almost getting blocked. Still there though. Got the damage done, backing away for the heal. Satchels through, Jorgamo, cheeky with the timing. Right from the back. There is no follow-up for that. Running again, his CGRS is shut down before he could even get started. Oh, nasty.
The pre-fire is just doing so much in this game. Anticipating the timings that PRX are going to push into them. Spike dropped and known.
30 seconds left.
Can't make sure there can't be anything else happening there. Neutralizes the threat again. And EG, very different there in their defensive setup. Instead of leaning 3 players over towards A, they just allow Com to hold it with this Viper's pit. So that isn't a tool. So I'm interested to see what they go for here again. You know, PRX, almost every time they've had a serious chance in the round, it's been based on A control. Double duelist holding A. And they've given Boostio responsibility of locking down the B site, which is where the whole of PRX are, with all ultimates on board.
Yeah, it's a weird buy into it. They want to take the fight straight to them with the knives. That's beamed down. Boostio couldn't see much. He was blinded. Tucked into the corner, stunned up. There is that punish in sight. Of course, Jing is the follow-up. It's that 1-2 punch. Classic PRX style.
That's not good. You missed alert.
Seeker's leading the way now to a potential easy opening. Ethan.
Oh.
Reactions. He has. He's denied that one. Demon 1 containing as well into the spawn. It's bought him time with the showstopper. Cosmic Divide there. Lighting him up into the corner. Maverick cannot withstand it. Device left alone. Spikes in the middle of nowhere. Tucked deep. Alt's going to be fading away. Wall is up. Just to try and fake like he could be lurking here, but this is just being watched for. Jiggle peek by Ethan. There's the second. That was dicey.
Very close. Excellent attempt from Divide. Trying to save.
That was actually almost a clutch by him. That's crazy.
PRX not committing enough bodies to actually holding onto the site here. Coach Alex is going to take attack time out. Look, they don't have anybody trying to stop players from peeking, and they're reading this push that Jing's going for every time. Every single situation that PRX find themselves in a post plan or with site control, Jing's going to try and push that a little bit further. And it's been working fairly well, but now it's time to tone it back. Because now EG have got the read. You see the positioning that Demon 1's playing. He knows that push is coming through CT. A Devi's been on the perma-lurk as well. PRX just need a tweak in terms of how they're approaching this map.
Otherwise, EG is sailing away with it, 5-1. Not in the hottest of waters yet. Obviously, with it being a best of 5, wouldn't be series losing, but you never want to be in that situation where you've just been pummeled on the map heading into the next one. That's really going to be deciding a lot of your outcomes. So, needs to be adjustments to make the half more respectable.
I do feel though.
Oh,
like
this
is a
would.
map for EG. If they have a chance of being able to win this game,
So in round 2,
their first ever grand final, they're looking at picking up wins on Fracture, Split, and then one of the final 2 maps. That's really where their map pool is at its strongest. So just to set expectations, this is one where we're anticipating EG to have an advantage. But when you have PRX playing double duelist comps like this, anything is possible.
Scattering with the guns. Really a full purchase from PRX, but a smoke to cut them across again. Going back to the fast place, dash into the smoke, a pull to counter, and what a counter it is! Bait them in, strike them back, hammer and anvil style. The 2 entry players, I mean, Jing and Forsaken, they can get nothing done.
Down A.
The pathing there, dropping down into hell, there was a pull prior, and at this point it's just an absolute aim labs routine. Flawless.
Yo, Demon 1!
G.
I was praying right there, had my eyes closed, but I know, bro, you're the best player, like, actually.
Might be.
You're your 10s, but right now I'm bringing to your... I like your sings more than 10s, I believe.
Working together with this composition to defend the A side. But this has been an adjustment that EG have gone for in this match.
10 seems a little cocky to me.
Male or, you know, mid as much as you might expect. Instead, he's
Yeah, he deserves to be cocky. He is one of the best players
ever.
ever.
So much maneuverability to play different spots.
He shouldn't show it off like
And they
that.
can play fast in the same way that Jing and Forsaken can play fast and loose.
It's been a bargaining, no. There's a pull. Oh, wow. It's the util being used, and Astra Star, I think they're trying to punish the
Wait, so if it's like a smoke, does it not tell you spike here, man?
Collects 1.
Nice.
In this round when they have been knocked down to the weaker guns anyway, but still hurts.
Aimbot Sheriff, is he gonna get a pick?
7-1. If it keeps going like this, and well, just give Demon 1 a bit more practice. Why not?
There's
Let
just
him warm up the wrist.
so many layers everywhere to the way that EG is playing the defense. Once you get past the first, there's always something behind.
Oh, he got hit there.
Like in mid, they're not playing aggressively to start out, but it feels like it with the orb. Then you run into Com just spraying you down there. The heaven pressure with Demon 1 to collect. Jing could have made something of that. Good try. But it puts everything down on a 7 health Mind Freak.
Yeah.
That just doesn't look in any way feasible for him.
30
And a
seconds
7-1 lead for EG. He should be able to close this out, especially with how PRX, in my opinion, look favored on the attack side of Split. If they were going to win one of the sides, I would expect it to be this one.
But they're just being dismantled.
Oh, picked to pieces.
Yeah, the fast plays are being punished. Seeing the preset Astra util. Like you said, I mean, there's not too much emphasis being placed into mid, where you'd normally expect it. Someone like Boostio playing, but
I think that's a deliberate game plan from EG.
Yeah.
They're really trying to mess with PRX's expectations and catch them on the sight bursts instead. This is different.
yeah. Looking like maybe some B main pressure. There's a nade being held.
While Demon 1 opts towards A with potentially a pullback smoke.
Fight on 2 fronts. See which one pays off. Deep flash. Smoke was placed deep there by Forsaken. All in the face of Demon 1 means he's not granted that easy sight line.
But Boostio just holds with him. And together, they feel confident enough to be able to re-clear this area to some degree. There's still that dangerous corner, which is getting pinged out right now.
I do like this.
But EG are on the line. They've got a bait and switch set up now, too.
Bait and switch. There's the dash active. They're not going to expect Boostio close to the corner. Gliding right past. They spotted him on the minimap. Can Boostio get out alive? Not quite. Traded. Forsaken. He's in their face. It's the updraft dash play again, but again, not anticipating Demon 1. Brings down the opposites. Jet
Brent, also,
Jet.
CGRS is in screens.
he managed
The
this?
PRX have gotten everywhere.
Pushed in deep onto the corner. I mean, as expected, there was a jump spot, I believe, by Ethan. They seem to know that there could have been this chance and this timing.
But surely not this deep.
No, I don't think he realizes he's crossed, does he? It's a hard clearance. Not enough to get the shots onto it, and the satchel is nice, so Jorgenmo's set up for the trade. Aim wasn't reset in time.
Are the gods favoring you today with the spray into the pit?
Yeah, I've seen many of these rounds. Blazestorm being committed. Over the top with the updraft. Looking for a 3-2-1 entrance right into it, into the corner. Updraft all over the place. Twists and turns in the round, into the corner. Divide goes. Enough to collect up onto Jorgenmo.
That is a tough setup to deal with. I really like the approach from the double duelist there. The updrafts and the potential to be able to one-shot someone with the knives is nice, but in the end, Devi's ultimate proves too strong. Look at this.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, both grouping up together, making sure that they can't get picked off one at a time, and they hold steady. But also, PRX's A ramp control and the way that they're diving up A ramp and into the A heaven smoke at the same time, really tough for EG to deal with. They only just managed to adjust. More spread, more defaulting from PRX. Though again, it feels like A ramp is going to be the destination in mind.
Has to be a string of rounds here for PRX.
Even if they get to 5,
Yeah,
that feels to me like
they've salvaged it at that point if they manage to get to 5, but they'd have to win out the rounds from here.
and it's still not an amazing half, was more my point.
Big flash, Jorgenmo. Last attempt, a chance to punish again, the exact same play! Team of one though, this time playing inside the smoke to punish it. Fool me once, shame on you. Still they run forwards into the site, and the util is clearing all the corners. Jorgenmo caught out in the open, Cosmic Divide, cuts up the angles, Team of one's still there, crouch peek yet. Well, how does he have the presence of mind to clear it still? I just don't know with this guy, but he is quite an insane player.
Look at the setup though in the post plant. Barely anybody on site, doubled up like it's a backstab in heaven.
Yeah, up into heaven here to clear out the one player that was playing onto the side, but can they deal with these again? Onto the heaven players, it's up to Mindfreak. Does he have a pull for the plan? Looks like there's one.
But Com is ready for his positioning. Oh, they try the body block.
Yeah, body block this one. Mindfreak still on heaven. He can do a lot here. He's landed it. Enough kills found. 25 health though. Does he take the bait? It was tapped. He doesn't swing. Boostio, absolute balls of steel from Mindfreak. Swinging wide. Boostio gets half. Not enough time.
Oh, come on.
The presence of mind of Mindfreak, man. Not taking the bait.
That's so cold. That is so cold from Mindfreak. Up in heaven, just tapping away with the rifle, making sure that Boostio doesn't feel safe at any point. And also, with his first peek, he sees they're both vulnerable. He sees that they're both in that spot, so I think that probably goes into the decision-making there, knowing that Boostio is going to be a bit too scared to just stick it completely. We have not really seen anybody being able to pull off that body block play to deny the Astropole. And Com was ready for it too, in terms of his positioning. Just won the duel against Jing, couldn't quite win the duel against Mindfreak. Small moments defining whether PRX can get back into this half.
Just been on a nice edge. Now with 2 more chances. I mean, we said, listen, 7-5 will be a salvaged half. It's necessary for them to win out, but 1 round away from what looks like breaking the economy of EG. That's why they're taking the time out here. This is an important one.
And I agree with you that the last few rounds have seemed like they've been on a knife's edge, but the knife is on an edge where, tipped in one direction, it plunges into PRX's heart. It's not a balanced knife right now. It's PRX doing everything they can, finding the slimmest of margins just to be able to save the half and get it back towards even territory. If EG are even able to get 1, it looks extremely good for them. It's got to be perfection from here on out for PRX.
I got
To
this,
work
EG.
with. Comes online, grouped up towards B main. Looks to be that 4-1 split, contacting. Dash is now active though. They want to go off of this as a snipe bait at their feet. Jing, their second thoughts on it. The pull was also expended here. Boostio is dodging. Utility flying into his face, but does he realize it? No, Forsaken was already on the line. A counter flash play, dropping down. Ethan's there. It's a 3-2-1 face. He's broken in the midst of it. Beautiful stuff by Forsaken. Liberties with the positioning, and Jorgenmo forced into the impossible scenario. Has to save for this round, and that string of rounds that we were talking about, Josh, the possibility of it, it's a reality at this point, man.
Yeah, it's coming true. Forsaken's tempo catches Boostio completely off there. I mean, Boostio is trying to focus on the next wave through. He knows Forsaken's got through to Pillar, but he's hoping Forsaken's worried about somebody pushing CT, somebody pushing from Heaven. He's worried, he's hoping Forsaken has some level of respect. No, not the PRX duelists. They're going to continue to apply pressure onto the site anchor until you force them to back up.
Essentially should be a 7-5 at this point. One more round left here, but the money is going to be broken ever so slightly. I think the loss bonus will be kicking in for EG. Half armor rifles is a possibility, maybe. It doesn't look like it.
It's not great.
And the ults for PRX are flowing.
It looks like they might have done enough here to save the half. It's still not amazing. I feel like PRX would be anticipating running away with this when they're on their attack side. But, you know, when you're 7-1 down, this looks like a miracle. Like an absolute dream.
Cosmic Divide. It's let loose. They're trying to fake the A presence here of all of their players, but the Viper's Pit is going to be bogging them down. The goal is to try and take this one. Seekers does feel like a lot of heavy presence here, but now they hear it. Right into the open com. That was a miracle kill. He needed that one. Shuts down Jing with a showstopper, still maintains the pit, and it is this huge obstacle that's just waiting right in them.
But this whole thing was supposed to be a fake so that CGRS could take the spike with Devi into A. And Devi's called, rotators leaving, CGRS. Don't commit to B, come back to the A site. Boostio's stuck in a really weird position again.
Yeah, he's so worried about being pinched. He knows that Heaven was compromised. The choke on top of it. Deep flash into the back of the site. Boostio has the smoke of the choke, pushing through. Timing needed to be taken. He's got the spike down. It's going to be a cool mate. Spots out Devi. Repositions now. 50 health to his name. It's still not necessary. Not when a team's got his back. Mind Freak. Last alive. EG. They've done magic in this round. They really have. Every advantage was against them, yet they still get under their belt 8-4 here.
And that first kill turns the tide of the round to me. I mean, shutting down Jing with the showstopper inside your pit. Ridiculous.
I guess if we still win the first league, at least win the first league. I don't care if they win 5 after, just win the first three, and then start winning more.
That's still one that, if it swings the opposite
First, they're the
direction,
most important rounds this half.
could be looking at a 7-5 half.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts about this entire map as well. It's been so back and forth. Absolutely insane stuff. Let's send it down to the desk to break it down.
For spot, I will warn you right now that this quote is
keeps on swinging as this game continues to be the gift that keeps on giving here. Of course, as we dive into what we saw in that first half, Mimi, it's very clear that this team is punishing this aggression.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of map number 1 in that I think EG had a great read on the way that PRX play. It's what Potter was saying in that initial interview. We give them space, we let them do their execute, do their game plan, and then play these late rounds. The retakes were really working. You see it here in round 5, and then we see a timeout for PRX, and EG again have the read in this one. It felt like they had great control of that defense.
Yeah, and just little things as well. I mean, we were talking about this Boostio time and time again in these committed positions, but I think where PRX are so front-loaded in terms of their executes, where there's a spacing advantage that somebody can take advantage of, and even just to still have the confidence to commit to those, because it looked very concerning versus Fnatic, where he was almost being targeted. So I'm actually loving seeing that from Boostio here so far.
Yeah. A little bit of a rough half. The run back from PRX, decent. Like that. I mean, that 7-5 should have been theirs, and I'm worried that that is going to be the thing that is kind of lingering on their minds after that last round. Letting that get away from them. It was a fantastic little setup there from Calm to get the vulnerable out on the Jing, shut him down with the shorty, to get that showstopper completely out. Just break the entire call on the round from the side of PRX.
Split with comps like these are even, but EG's looking good right now. They want that series point. They want to be a map away from their first grand finals.
Well, and they're on the precipice of doing so, but of course you can never count out this PRX team as we get ready to dive into this one. And of course the fans are coming out in full swing here. Everyone has been having a great time. And again, this atmosphere in this room is electric. Of course, the people here have definitely met the moment that is taking place on that stage. And it is now time to jump back to the casters as we get ready for the next half.
Can EG grab the opportunity in front of them? typically look at scenarios like this and we say, well, must-win pistol round for PRX here, but we'll see if they can do it. EG with incredible consistency when it comes to these opening rounds here. Round 1, round 13 pistol rounds. To spiral that one into map wins. This entire tournament that's been the case. Dash. Good little peek for the information. Forsaken's out of there.
Jing's the player that's going to float. Started the round over towards A, and now as CGRS doesn't see too much, and they don't hear. Oh, the Trailblazer just goes straight over the top of Com's head too. They're going to re-push this area, knowing that Forsaken could have been playing there, and the pinch comes through from Vents.
Yep, CGRS just none the wiser towards it. It's up to Forsaken to hold down the choke point. Flash, it's dodged for now. Slight corner that he can play in. He's to hold it back, and he does kick out Ethan. That's a spike drop down. Isolating that one. Jing, in the meantime, the rest of his team refighting and retaking that Heaven control. Jorgensen towards the back here. Not shying away from it. Mind Freak eager to take the fight. Round given up.
Only Boostio left in an impossible situation, surely.
Well propped up now. Jing was pushing in front of this. Pull.
Does he know that Forsaken is going to be on this timing behind him? It looks like he's aware.
Idea of it, yeah, but the crosshair's not pointed towards Heaven. So, PRX with a pistol round win.
Every map so far, Brent, has been split dead down the middle in terms of the pistol rounds. And I think that really makes the series winnable for PRX, because their pistol round win rate has not been good. It has not been good. They've been getting their advantages through the gun rounds, through finding these moments, splitting team play down into the 1v1s, and getting the win there instead. So if they're also able to go even on pistols, it's going to drag EG down to the point where this game's winnable.
Taking away those advantages. PRX going to be feeling possibilities presented to them. Okay, that was the return of fire.
Good to neutralize that quickly before it snowballed any further.
Yeah, he did not want Boostio creeping through mid.
That's also the only sheriff that they had. Everybody else is on a classic. PRX are going to be challenged here a little bit on their defense side, I think, to not overextend, to not get too aggressive. Divide loves doing these walk pushes down mid. About a minute on the clock, maybe more, something like 50 seconds. If EG are going to approach every round with the patience they've demonstrated on this, it may not pay dividends for them here with the weaponry so low. But I think it's going to ask questions of PRX later on.
Almost casting out a net and baiting PRX to just walk right into it.
That'll be the game plan.
Yeah.
But with a team as good as PRX, even if they fall into the net sometimes, they'll just chew their way out.
Oh yeah. Raw skill on display. So it's going to be offered to them. Lovely set of kills for Forsaken. Definitely going to be pleased with that one. Bladestorm is brought online.
Yeah. In terms of a person that you would want to be gathering all of those anti-eco kills, Forsaken's top of the list.
Yeah, big purchase from him as well now, headed into it. Why not stay active in between the rounds? Although with the pace that this game is being played at, you don't really have too much time to do that. So
you want to keep your eyes on the action. Forsaken is going to pick up an operator in this round.
And for the bonus.
For PRX's bonus round, having a defensive op online.
Meanwhile, series of aggressive plays, pushing deep. Was a pull towards the one side, a smoke on the other. Forsaken! Oh, he strikes, lands it. Demon 1 brought down.
What a pick. And remember, if Forsaken does die, he's still got Bladestorm for next round. So it's not even that much of a gamble. But it's the right kind of risk that really introduces something that EG won't have been expecting, I don't think.
What kind of call has been made here? Some form of utility was sent flying. A lot of players scampering on PRX's defensive setup.
They're worried about this Viper wall, I think, that Com's laid down and trying to get info behind it. They realize they need to make a push into B main, or at least see if anyone's over there. Oh!
Forsaken.
I mean, Forsaken had a lineup there with the operator. Jorgamo's never favored.
Yeah, still Forsaken 4, so the operator taken out of the mix. And again, noise has been cut. 40 seconds remaining. EG happy to slow it all the way down here.
They're looking to try and bait out an info play, but it's happening in B main, where there's no one on EG ready to collect.
Info gathered. Flash is going to be gathering that. How fast? Playing through here. Jing, he pushes forwards. Past a lot of this utility. Here's the footsteps. Now they're going to start running towards him. Damage is definitely done. Satchel's at work. Marshall spam. It's all laid on top of each other. It's raining lead right through the choke. An exchange of the guns is left up to it, but with only 12 seconds remaining, Jorgamo, he's got so much to do and not enough time. Brought down. Bonus round win. Can they save the operator? Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to get on top of that one. But still, a bonus round conversion is massive.
And I said that EG's patience was going to ask questions of PRX. They answered perfectly there. The push happened over in B main. There was 2 players there. It gives them all the info to rotate the rest of the team into A. And they managed to get Jing into a spot where he's pushed inside the smoke before the hit even happens.
Where his gun go, man?
Knocks EG down. Economy in a terrible spot. PRX, they've pulled off the comeback at this point.
Yeah, bring it back into with the op purchase. Jing is shut down. Just trying to hold back onto the rope. That was a stinger in his face. Classic little play that you see with a double duelist.
And now cutting noise a little. Waiting for that push. With Boostio on the other side of the map too.
Before the wall even goes up.
Everybody getting caught.
Oh my, updraft, got to escape it. Nade at his feet, through the smoke. Showstopper's been earned. Into the side, into the corners. That damage done, not enough for a kill. With the shorty, yeah. Trusty sidearm. CGRS punching any would-be attackers onto his position.
Demon 1, he knows roughly where CGRS is. Last known location of Mindfreak in B. That's what he's working with.
Oh my.
He's not going to expect Mindfreak to be this aggressive, I don't think, in heaven. But Mindfreak has to make a noise.
Yeah. Sound cue, something. He might bait the drop. Dashes there, gets info. Demon 1. Does he hear it? The drop down. Not too certain.
He's going
Spots
for the
it out
one
anyway.
taps.
Going for the 1 taps. 3 HP. Why not? He's got the confidence for it. Smoke cut up the 1 angle. Now holds it. It's a bit of a gamble. 9 bullets left. Mindfreak. Left reeling. You have the confidence to take the fight. He's definitely got the health advantage. And with a swing like that, he can afford to take it.
It's close. Could have come down to a timing. But in the end, PRX do manage to bully their way through that anti-eco. Mindfreak lands the single body shot. And the score's tied up at 8-8. Great attempt from Demon 1 there.
He should just play time low-key.
But that was with EG investing their showstopper, finding some dangerous picks up in A heaven.
Fight close.
So let's have a look. Forsaken picks up the operator again, and they've got a high-low setup towards B. PRX love running this setup, but I don't think EG have been aggressive enough to run into it.
It's all been slowed down at the beginning. Heavy group up into mid. A repush as well into main.
It's so aggressive on the A defense.
Yeah, they're really going to try and get the punish, I think, onto opposite sides here. Jing is feeling the heat. Com backs away, absorbing a lot of this. Working themselves into spawn. They're already just walking all the way through. I mean, I was talking about falling here.
Everywhere.
It's going absolutely to pot. Individual one-on-ones, why not? An entire round.
I mean, that is perfection from PRX. They have both of their kind of supportive players pushing out towards A. They have both of their supportive players pushing out towards A, and it forces EG to go up mid and into B main. So they go into Jing at mid, and then they go into Forsaken, and Mindfreak over towards B.
Easy.
It looked like it.
Carnage, man. Putting together the rounds, that's 5 in a row. Satchel's at work again. Jorgamo seeking to have a bit of a repeat. It's literally a repeat of the round that he did prior. This time, Knives at play, at work, updraft, over the top. Devi is punished. CGRS trying to play anti-flash. What a shot to hit for Boostio. Cheeky upgrade, rifle in his hands. We are down, I mean, it's the first 20 seconds of this round.
EG choosing to fight fire with fire. Increasing the pace instead of decreasing it. Makes sense on an eco.
This is shortly spotted. Close to the corner.
What the hell is Demon 1 looking at?
Inside, but eventually it comes through, and there with the stingers.
Let's show.
It's brought down a thrifty 9-9. You thought that PRX were really starting to gain a bit of a lead and that advantage, but no, broad even.
And Brendan, you're dead on the money. Absolutely right. It's the same play that they made the last time they had a thrifty. Double blast back up with a stinger, a ramp. And this time they managed to capitalize and snowball that into a round win. If they're finding value doing that with stingers, are EG now going to decide to just do it with rifles as well? This looks like a bit of a weakness in how PRX are holding. They're not ready for the fight at the beginning of the round. Instead, Demon 1's got an op, so I don't think they're going to be as quick.
Still caution being played. Oh, here we go. Another showstopper with the pull. Oh, real damage being done. Still, Dash disengaging. Close to the corner here with a stinger. It's brought down. Jorgamo seeks to respond. Spam through the smoke. CGRS beaming him down. Ethan trying to push through. Just the fire raider was coming towards him there, but it's left to just these two. The slow play. EG, the ones who are being picked apart. There's the rifle. It's swapped around. Leaving the operator out in the open. Seekers clearing a bit of a path.
Demon 1 has to be worried about the push here.
Oh, and he didn't expect it. What? A response from Divide.
And the whole of PRX.
What the heck?
Fighting fire with fire. Both of these teams trying to one-up each other with how aggressive they can both get. The double blast back down mid with a showstopper. And Jing knows, based on his nade position, where Boostio is going to be. They're just so good at reading how defensive teams are going to adapt.
I think they're going to time out here.
There. Obviously, EG are on the attack side, but they are defending against a play like that.
Yeah.
They have to try and absorb the aggression.
The slow split default.
No, I'll tell you what, no America's team's playing like that.
No.
If they're,
Yeah.
if they're trying to rely on their experience playing against people in their own region, nobody quite plays like PRX.
Yeah, I'm not sure who you'd have to practice, I think, to get experience against that. Maybe FaZe? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Just full Smeeg. I mean, PRX are the embodiment of it.
And I thought it was going to be the attack side where PRX looked in control by running these kind of aggressive plays. But instead, the level of aggression they've shown on their defense side has actually worked perfectly for their style. EG can't control it when Jing just goes down mid, or when CGRS is applying pressure with his flashes and his Trailblazer over towards A ramp. They're running into Forsaken and Jing constantly, and then Divide's there for the cleanup. I also don't know how they're going to get value out of Demon 1's operator if PRX continue to up the tempo like this. Demon 1's going to have to hit some cracking shots.
It feels like an unusual purchase. They are really brute forcing it. They still want to be leaning into it. Demon 1 is a great player, but
I think the op, in theory, can be fantastic if PRX play slowly themselves. Don't know if that's going to happen.
yeah. At least for this round, there's a bit of a crawl at the beginning.
The raise is mid. Jing's been getting the better end of Jorgamo almost every time.
He's pushing through it. Angle here towards the box. No, it's the back of his head. It's not watched for. Jorgamo collects that kill. Over the top of the wall, Demon 1. There's a chance for him to get a kill. Maybe equalize it to a 4 versus 4, but have to back away here.
Don't peek it.
And Jing's looking towards B Heaven in that situation because he's following where Ethan's Trailblazer went.
Great time for a Viper's Pit. This is really going to bog down the choke.
And how do you get through this?
Well, maybe from behind. Jorgamo has gained mid-control. Forsaken. Look at him. Not favor taking that fight. I mean, a ton of damage. Onto the angle, still set up. Crouch peeking. Just wants to disrespect them into B main. And it has funneled everybody up through mid. The space was gained by Jorgamo. They want to go around the Viper's Pit. They don't want to fight through it, but if you leave him up, Divide, it's going to be more than a thorn in their side, man. He could be the difference maker to you winning the round. Ethan cleans him up. Takes him out there. Jorgamo, attempt to punish this one. Forsaken swings into it. Denying it here with the plant at least. Will go down, so time no longer becoming a bit of a problem. Still, Cosmic Divide. Across the site. Viper's Pit of their own. Now drop down. Tons of ults being committed into this one. Jump spot with a shorty. The shot missing just ever so slightly. Demon 1 holding it towards the corner. Again, it's going to come down to a bit of luck of the draw. Spam, maybe. Can they work their way into the pit? Can they try and bring it down? 2 versus 2. Off to the side here. It's
Yes.
alive and kicking. The
Good
pit's
job.
still active. Mind Freak was not set up for success.
He needs to get rid of that op
10-10.
though.
As even as we can be.
Just go Guardian or something.
So
That's what
close.
you're good at, low key.
And as I said earlier, this
He's
is
a
what
really
Ryan
good player,
would
but
expect
he
EG
does not
to
need to
have
op
here.
right now.
They've looked
He does
phenomenal
not
as
need to
well.
op, like actually.
Little bait
It's gonna
by
screw them
Deadbeat,
over,
pick up Jing
opting.
early on. And this is that's the kill that really wins it. Ethan being able to out-duel Divide, who took a moment out of his pit to try and grab that kill and then bounce back in. Op v op now, over towards B main to start the round.
Stars aplenty. What a defeat of Forsaken. This is pandemonium. Just a recall so that he can set himself up onto an angle, but who knows whose util's whose. Fade into the side, that's a satchel to punish, but such quick reactions. Forsaken! He's a menace! 2 players brought down, a dash reset. He's got it active once more in case he does want to take another peek at things, but just backs away, content to hold the choke.
That is absolutely disgustingly good from Forsaken. The jump repeat back onto the angle to diff Demon 1, and CGRS just holds for info, backs up. Playing his life. Snakebite denies the Trailblazer here, giving Com a little opportunity, but it's still a 3v5.
Off the back of Forsaken.
What a time for a hero play like that.
Still holding on to the heaven position. That angle, he opened himself up to it. It was wallbangable. He's weak. He's still holding it though. Hasn't given up this space, which means his team can try and help him out, support him out. 35 seconds roughly left in the round. The side set onto A, but they need an opening.
30
They need it now. Device still pushing him back. That was his snake bite. Drop down onto the corner. Forsaken. What is that? Spraying him through. They're still watching it. Not giving him an inch.
Not a bad time for a prime game in Flawless for PRX there. That could well
crazy
turn
there,
the
bro.
tide of this map. And as the midpoint of the series, potentially, could change the tide of the match. What is that? The confidence level. I mean, look at that from Demon 1's perspective.
Yeah, no time to react.
He looked startled. It was a jump scare. That's ludicrous.
Instantaneous.
Can EG find any way of responding to this? They won a Thrifty earlier on, playing over towards A ramp, chaining those 2 duelists together.
I mean, PRX looked like they were anticipating it. I mean, they stacked it with 4 of their players. Now we see it. Showstopper use the satchel movement, though. It's not too great.
Beefed.
Yeah, bangs his head on the ceiling. Rocket into spawn. No real damage. And Demon 1, though, is there. He's on the angle, on the line of sight. Spam. Onto the corner. Eventually brought down. Satchel's at work. Round to the side. Jing in the middle of all of that. Still got a kill onto Jorgamo. And Heaven Controller's there. Spike's still not planted. It's a 2v3.
The backstab.
The backstab. Com needs value. He needs a kill. And the right click does not bless him. Flip it a coin. Not going in his direction. Stars available. Boostio. What can he do to salvage it? Star blossomed up, but it won't matter one bit. It's shut down, and it's PRX who find themselves in the driving seat. They hit that 12th round.
They stacked up to try and avoid that A-ramp Thrifty idea, and EG almost got some momentum going with Demon 1 finding the first pick. Good response though from CGRS, just spamming through. And PRX eventually deal with this tricksy little Thrifty. EG though, they didn't buy in the last round, they didn't force, they were always playing for overtime. So now we get to see the next 2 rounds, 4-player stack over towards A. Hard reading that EG would be leaning right at the start of this.
Same setup as they did just prior. EG were on the Thrifty, and again it's the long migration, the big wraparound. Time to shore up the defensive towards B as mid is completely given up. Dash forwards, up into heaven. Until expended, exchange, another smoke to try and get them in. Demon 1, he's so smart with this. Let's buy them that space towards the back. Mind Freak though, he's got to try and hold this one. Smoke away and afar. That's
Huge
2
play.
kills, massive from him. Still, they left to contain it. It's PRX leading through. 13 to 10, and they are leading the series now.
Outrageous comeback in this 3rd map from PRX. From a spot where they were 7-1 down, I believe, to be able to get all the way back. Not only was this a win, it was a win by 3 rounds. And on EG's, probably, I would say, EG's second best map. What an incredible performance there. Not only being able to win, but being able to win and muscle their way through whilst going way negative in the first kill to first death department. They only had 7 first kills in that map. And yet they're still able to convert 13 rounds. Absolute madness from the PRX guys.
Just an anomaly.
This
Easy
team
one.
defies all expectations.
13-9, I think.
Absolutely.
Two map loaded.
Anybody can step
So
up at any time.
14. PRX one. This one.
Carrying them over the line.
13-10, I think.
The amount of times that the Taker was getting away with
And
that.
PRX one.
Even when they seek to punish, I mean, I didn't even pick up that at the time, but he's picking up the judge in case somebody does play in the smoke to punish him.
Yeah.
So we can just spam away.